Well, now that I beat the game, I don't know what to do. Maybe I should just... Oh, that's a good idea. Well, this is how I beat Terraria Hardcore. As I watched the credits roll, I realized that I had beaten the game provably for the first time. I had given myself the challenge to beat Terraria Hardcore, and in my universe, this I achieved. But it gave me no satisfaction. In succeeding, I lost all purpose. Why couldn't I feel satisfied? Did I need another challenge? What more could I do? I had beaten the game. I tried to get on YouTube and scroll to try to distract myself when I saw a video. We made a computer in Mario by game theory. And I thought, wait, could I do that in Terraria? By the way, you should really consider subscribing to see me do other crazy challenges in Terraria. I mean, I literally spent 40 hours beating Terraria for like a 4-minute intro joke for the actual video. So who knows what's next? Subscribing is free and you can always change your mind later if you actually don't like it. But anyways, onwards with the video. You guys obviously don't know this, but I'm actually not well versed in engineering of any type. I'm actually a psychology student at UH. So this is kind of a way to just test myself out to see if it would have been for me or if I even understand the basics of it, if I could even do it by myself. So now actually, let's start. Terraria, like similar games that let you build, have a lot of items that can be used to power other items, like pistons in Minecraft, or shells or no shells in Mario. However, Terraria actually goes a step forward and adds wires, logic gates, logic lamps, a bunch of stuff that lets you create machines, you know? It even has its own version, I think, conveyor belts, which is insane. Logic gates are kind of a way to add checks, which are vital for computers. I want to make the most basic form of a computer to, prove it, and the same way that the Mario video did in game theory by making a calculator. In order to do that, I have to understand the language of computers in such a basic scale, which is binary. Binary is kind of a computer language system in which there's zeros and ones, and they progressively add numbers to the count. As you can see on my cheat sheet I made trying to calculate this, I just simply wrote out all the numbers and to try to visualize how the calculator is gonna look out. So 0 is gonna be 0, 0, 0, 0. So just adding no inputs means you get no inputs. And then 1 would be 0, 0, 0, 1, and so on and so forth. And that's the basics for binary. That could have been its own video. That was a little complicated. And the joke at the beginning could have been its own video. That's a lot of wasted content. Why am I doing this again? Oh, right. I didn't want to just build it for no reason. You know, I beat the whole game, but just to make it count. I didn't want to just build it for no reason. Beating the whole game just for a joke is funny, but there's kind of no reason to make a computer for no reason in the game. So I decided that the computer is actually going to be a pylon base in the tundra. Because I kind of wanted to make it like a facility in the snow. Kind of like that one computer in the Arctic, because computers take up a lot of energy, and this computer especially. So it's going to probably need a lot of ice and cold stuff around it to help it cool off on its crazy processing power. Now, knowing all the theory that I just explained is one thing, but actually applying it into practice is the hard part. So let's start digging out and making the thing. After digging out the hole, I kind of forgot what I was doing and just went up to build the actual wires and computer itself. So I guess I'm just gonna do that. First step was building the switches, which is very easy. It's just making a line up, down, 7 on the left and up, down, 7 on the right. And then trying to wire them up to the inputs up above so that you could visualize what you're doing. So, time for a wiring montage. Displaying just the inputs is obviously easy. It's literally just flicking a button. The harder part is adding them up, which I haven't figured out to do because I was really scared about doing that because I have literally no idea how to do that. By the way, since I'm not using a blueprint, basically gonna have to brute force mentally the design and logic behind it. Okay, I found the way after a few hours of brute forcing. In order to add something in binary, you need to have both inputs from the calculator, obviously, and then you smash together those two different infinities. I mean, you wire those two wires into the logic gate lamps that are placed above the logic gates. Specifically, I use the logic gate XOR. As you can see by the subscriptions, it's one. It works when there's only one logic gate on, and that's it. One, if it's this one or that one, not both. If only one is turned on, then the logic gate underneath it lights up, and that means there's a value there. If it's turned off, then there's no value, and it's 0. For the beginning, I only added 2, because if it adds up to 2, you know, it's a 1 and a 1, it'll result in a 0 and add a 1 to the next one. But for the second bit, I added 3, since there's 3 possible that you can make from the left input, the right input, and the extra input from before. In order to calculate if it does or doesn't, I had to basically calculate or account for each possible combination. So left input and the extra input from before, right input and the extra input from before, or just left input plus right input. And that just adds up and just goes into the next one. Setting up with just that allows you to add up to around 10, and that would be a problem because I want to add up to 14, not just 10. So basically, I just had to resolve a difference that since the XOR gate only accepts 1 lamp on and not 3 lamps on, I just made a boring, and boom, that's actually just how you make a calculator. What's that? The most basic form of computer needs you to display the data? Yeah, I don't care. I'm just gonna start adding up to the fucking base. These 3 are tech nerds and luckily have the best compatibility, so in they go to the base. And boom, the base is done. I was actually going to try to make a display, as you can see in the left part of the base, but then I realized I just taught you guys how to read binary up to 14, so you guys can read it, which means I basically wrote it, displayed it, and can edit it, which means it's a computer and I don't have to display it any differently. So whatever. I was so excited to end that video that I forgot to show you how to actually add. Okay, since we know that these are 1 through 7, we just click here, 1, it'll already show up here. 1 plus 0 is 1. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, it is 1, 0, so 2. Do 1 plus 3, and it'll be 1, 0, 0, since it would be, it's 4. 1 plus 3, so 1, 1. That'll go to the next one, 1, 0, 0, which is 1, 0, 0. That's 4. I honestly had a lot of fun making the computer. I am definitely not going into engineering because this took me around 3 hours, something that you could learn in a textbook in like 10 minutes maybe. But it was pretty cool because I genuinely did it all of my own design. I didn't look at anything else online. The only thing I ever knew about engineering or binary was from Mario Maker, which is why my thing is genuinely so unoptimized and ugly looking. I'm actually really proud of what I made here, and I think it was pretty cool. If you liked what I made, please consider subscribing. you never know what I might make next. If you have any other ideas of what I can make other than Terraria or play a different game, you should comment that too. That's basically the whole video. And yeah, goodbye.